So we here, bars at the bar. I'm Taya freaking Bea. I'm here with 10,000.
Hey,
Good.
hey, I'm blessed, man.
What you got going on? Tell us.
Hey, first and foremost, follow me on all platforms at TenXX 10,000. All streaming platforms. My album Heathen is Anonymous is out now. Okay. Fire. Real hip hop is back. Hey. It's like nah. Hey, follow me on Instagram and Twitter too at TenXX. And yeah, I got a new EP I'm working on. I think it's gonna be.
Wait a minute. Let's go get comfortable.
Facts.
And then you tell me
Facts.
a little bit about
Facts.
the EP that you got.
Hey, sounds perfect. Sounds perfect.
Okay. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Just tell me a little bit about yourself for people that aren't familiar with you.
Okay. Well, my name is 10,000. It's spelled TenXX, and it's a tribute to the old philosophical principle that in order to become a master at a certain skill or venture, one must invest 10,000 working hours into that said craft, and you'll become a master at it.
Do you feel like people nowadays are putting in those 10,000 hours, or are
For
they
sure.
taking shortcuts?
Sometimes it's not really the shortcuts because I did the math one time. If you worked every single second or minute of the year, it still takes I forgot what it is, but it's like over a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it just shows that it's more of a journey rather than you clocking in. So yeah, sometimes you don't really count it. It's just when you look back and account it, you see that, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, and this is just my personal opinion, I feel like social media has made it easy for people to take a shortcut. They're not putting in the same work.
Yes.
But still, in a sense, you kind of see the people that are putting those 10,000.
Exactly. Because shortcuts aren't. Because music is a business at the end of the day. You know, it could be bad business to be a trailblazer. You know, instead of just going down the well-beaten path. Which is nowadays a lot of shortcuts per se, but
especially women.
Yes.
A lot of cheat codes.
You know, hey, I would love for you to speak. I would like your perspective, but you're interviewing me. But yeah, you know, because that's interesting too.
Right.
It's almost like. Yeah, it's almost a disadvantage because you're almost looked at as a shortcut, like a money move. Like, oh, she's beautiful, she got talent. Let's give her the shortcut. Let's give her the love and hip hop deal.
But you don't. It all depends on the person. Like,
for sure.
For me, you know, I feel like I'm able to do those things and take those routes, but I know that why I'm doing this.
Yes.
And I know that, like, I was speaking to Taz in the car, and I was telling him I have a lot of younger girls that like look up to me. I don't know why, but their energy is focused on me. So it's just my job to give them somebody to look up to. And show them that there's other lanes.
I totally agree. 'Cause I have two nieces, 5 and 3, beautiful, love them. So I hope people like you still exist for them too, because there's a lot of shortcuts mentality too that kids are very influential. So yeah.
Okay, so you're from Kansas.
Yes, Wichita, Kansas.
There's black people in Kansas?
Man, you know the saying, there's a hood everywhere? But I'm gonna keep it real though. I'm from Wichita, which is like the main city in Wichita. You got Kansas City, but it's Tornado Alley. Like
I know my G out.
Yeah, it was like a couple years before I was born. My grandmother them experienced a tornado that really messed up my neighborhood. Like the neighborhood I grew up in, it'd be like house, empty lot, boarded up house, because a big tornado went through. And so I grew up, we used to play in the glass on the empty lots. And so I grew up, hailstorms, you gotta get hail insurance. It's crazy. A different type of thing. Like, since I've been to LA, it has not rained once. I've only been there a month, but.
Somebody else told me that. They was like, it has not rained since I've been here.
Yeah, so, Wichita really makes me different, in which I wanna, be.
What's the biggest, so let's start from, you were in Kansas. When did you leave Kansas?
So, I was born and raised in Kansas by my grandmother, because my mother was on drugs. I don't know my dad. So I ended up getting in foster care in the system because my grandmother led us back into my mother's care once we were like 11, 12. So I went into foster care, still in Kansas, but then my grandmother got remarried while I was in foster care for about 2 years, and she moved to Delaware. So when I got released from foster care, my grandmother officially adopted me. So it was like she became my parent, guardian legally. So then I moved to Delaware in 9th grade. So I was 15, 16.
Where did you go to high school at?
Christiana. Played Vikings, you know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Basketball, track.
Pasco.
State champions 2000 track. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Ryan Carter.
But when people ask you where you're from, you say Delaware or no?
I do.
You say both.
Honestly, it depends because they're both kind of parallel as far as like explaining my story. But honestly, like when I'm in Cali, it's kind of hard to bring up the Wichita because people really don't, you know, they don't understand how.
I just remember it being on Twisted, the movie.
Yeah, they think I'm like a CIA agent or something, like a con man. But yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. But people eventually get the story if they like delve deep enough, you know.
So like as far as your musical influences, where do you think you got the most?
Well,
musical influence? It doesn't have to be anywhere you're from.
I always say this, you know, because people hear my music, they see my passion, they see how like took a cannonball into this, you know, and they think that, you know, if they seen a tape of me when I was like 7 and teacher was asking like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I never thought I was going to be a rapper, a singer, or entertainer. So that really developed later, but growing up, my grandmother used to always just play Teddy Pendergrass, Marvin Gaye, Michael, Luther, all that. So I've always had like a, you know, I'm the type, I don't need a metronome. So that was always in me. And so I was always shy too, you know what I mean? So like, I always used to freestyle back in the day, but I was never the cool dude, you know? So I was the dude that I always watched. And then one day I was the person that was the target. And then I was like, it was almost on some 8 Mile shit. So, but that really awoken, it wasn't just like, oh, that felt good. It really like opened a whole another part of my soul I didn't know existed. So it was like tempting. It was like finding a woman you fall in love with. So I explored it. And ended up
while you were in Delaware.
Yeah, so in high school I used to freestyle in the back of the bus, you know, after school bus. After basketball practice, we used to freestyle, beat on the windows, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I was new and I used to not, and then they used to like come at me and I was like, so I finally went there and was like, oh.
That's crazy.
And so, yeah, I did it, but never seriously like going to the studio and stuff, because my grandparents were on me about schoolwork, you know what I mean? And I love school, you know what I mean? That worked out for me well too, so. I was really focused on that. I never even assumed I would ever take it serious. But my soul always took it serious.
Right.
I just maybe never maneuvered in it to be like, to actually get somewhere practically.
So when do you feel like you started really taking it serious?
When I went to college, I went to a small college to play basketball and for school in the Poconos, Wilkes-Barre, PA. You ever seen The Office, Scranton, PA? Oh
yeah, okay.
So every Friday, you know, because by then I'm just like, freestyle now is just like something that's a party starter, you know what I mean? So a lot of the friends I was with, we used to have this thing called Freestyle Fridays. We used to just freestyle in the dorm and shit. And so it was just always dope, you know what I mean? Like, and so then by my junior year, one of my friends ended up, he was like a business major. So he was like, man, fuck it. I got enough, I'll pay for a couple studio sessions. Like, yo, we gotta get you in the studio. And I was like, fuck it. And hey, I'm supreme in my talent now, but at that time I was terrible. I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like playing basketball doing 3 steps.
What did you do to get better?
Worked. I just, like I said, that time when I first started freestyling, like I said, that part of my soul opened, it was always a part of me. So I was always my own biggest fan and my biggest critic from the beginning. Yeah. So I knew my homies, they were just hyped because I can say ABC, EFG reference. You know what I mean? And it was actually dope. And it was inspiring. They was like, oh, damn, you can really do this. But it was slow because I didn't know how to make a song. And then, I won't say his name, but this artist that I was in the studio with kept it real with me. He didn't tell me I was terrible, but he was just like, bro, I see how much passion you have for this. You got to get it right, you know? So I took that serious, lost some sleep.
Let me just tell you real quick.
Yeah.
The fact that you took criticism from somebody and you flipped it and you didn't take it personal, that's where a lot of people get it fucked up.
Shout out to him, like, cause he really, cause it easily could have been, cause I was kind of just like I said, I did lose some sleep over. I went back and was like, man, fuck this shit or whatever.
It made you go harder.
Man, shout out to him. I thank him from that day because. If you
want to say his name, you know you can.
It's my boy Squally Guns from Philly. Made a song called 3 Different Ways. Nah, but he was really a dude that I got around, and it was just for a session. And it was just dope, because, you know what I mean? A lot of people just want to seem cool. And he was just like, I'm not impressed. Like, that's dope, but.
You got to come better.
Yeah, like you talking about you want to be the Kanye you want to be. You got to really, you know what I mean, be almost meant for it. So it was cool. I took it serious, and then ever since then, I was just happy, you know?
Are there any other artists in Philly that you feel like you either cross paths with and you feel like they gave you gems, or?
Let me think.
Or
even
somebody that you like admire or inspires you.
Like just someone I know personally that does music or do.
You could do that too.
Well, my bro, his name is Sean Wilson.
Okay.
His Twitter handle is Summers Over. His brand is called Summers Over. He's really a dude that he really does R&B and different things, but it's deeper than music with him. He was a guy that really gave me an opportunity to back up all the shit I was talking. Because he had all the software, the speakers, he can play the piano without reading, like Nick Cannon on the drums, not looking at the music type. He's a real musician, raised in the church. So he taught me a lot of different things about deeper than just rap patterns and trap music. He expanded, because he gave me different production that was deeper than just
music.
And I needed that because like I thought I was gonna be a boom bap dude forever.
No.
So when I say it gave me the opportunity to back up the shit I was talking, I always thought I was waiting for my music to take another leap.
Yeah.
But each time,
you can tell with when I listen to it, it's like you have your own type of vibe and sound to it.
Yeah,
and
so I really
tell you study music in general, not just one type of
so
of music.
Sean Wilson, man, he really changed my trajectory too. So
the music scene in Delaware, was it hard for you to do your thing since I feel like Delaware doesn't have any like radio stations.
Yeah. I look at
gotta go through Philly a little bit.
Yes, because that's the practical fact of it. But I look at it, Delaware, because it's so easy to go in the argument of like they don't stick together, no one knows this. No, I look at it as it's a perfect place for a creative to go and have no expectation of shit.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you get to a certain point, it don't matter. You gotta transition to at least Philly or the different hubs because that's just how it works. But I like Delaware because it's almost like you're just a ghost out there if you're a creator, you know? So I don't really get caught up in the politics or be mad because this person didn't respond or I didn't. Like one of the best dudes I got with, a videographer, he didn't answer my emails, my manager, emailed him for 2 years.
Cool.
Jeff Phoenix.
He works with my homeboy Prez.
Yeah, and it was just timing, and then when we linked, it was the best. Yeah. That's another person that I admire. I'm like, yo, he's really a Jedi with this shit.
Filmed a lot of the stuff that you worked on.
He filmed my song Poltergeist and
I want to
Envious.
talk about that too.
Yeah.
So how did that song come about?
Once again, my boy Sean Wilson, I was at his spot. You know, I treated it almost like a musical residency, aka his futon. And he used to go to work in the morning because he's a family man, and I would have all of his stuff. So I would learn Logic and different stuff. So he taught me a lot, and that day I knew I was writing to that beat, and I was like, because he went to work at 6, and that's my hours, vamp hours. As soon as he leaves the parking lot, I went in the booth and I laid that down, and that was a real blackout moment for me. Because I'm a person, every song that you've ever heard, 99% of them I wrote and went right into the booth. I don't really come up prepared. So that morning I was waiting for him to leave and he left. I laid it down, and from a technical aspect, that's why I was worried. I was like, all right, I'm gonna finally try to record it. And it came out dope, but looking back on it in hindsight, it's just one of my favorite songs I've ever written.
Okay.
And which is why I knew I wanted a fire video. And the timing, like I said, with Jet, because when I hit Jet 2 years earlier, the song, it would have never made sense, but the talents matched. I matched his energy, and the production was dope.
And I was seeing a lot of your visual work. I like it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a couple. You might have saw some VHS. Yes, shout out to Alex Sarzoza, who
oh, he was just on Jim Jones.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he did something for XX Tentacion. He did a lot of things.
Basically, all on the last El Capo.
Yeah. Hey, my boy. Don Liz, Don CG on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw some credits.
Yeah, he is he found them. He found all these, like, he's really I call him the fixer. You know what I mean? So when he showed me him and we made the deal happen, it was good business. Like, when I seen who he did stuff for, I was just excited. So yeah, that song's called Second Chances Made Me. Okay. And all that's on YouTube. But yeah, that was dope. So.
Okay. So I just want to know, like, what are some of your musical influences? Because from our conversation and from hearing your music, I probably wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because going back to the R&B, growing up on R&B, I'll listen to the whole Janae album and go in there and record a diss track. Or my energy really comes from a place of there's nobody in the room but me. You know what I mean? So I try to get in that place And it could be good or bad because you can get deep into that place and no one hears shit else, and you might miss a sound.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I always stay tuned in and plugged in. You know what I mean? Shout out to the younger dudes underneath, and they always put me on different shit. So I'm always tapped in. But influence-wise, like, I love Future, obviously. Drake, J. Cole. I like the people that are keeping the standard of rap at a certain threshold where it can't slip too much.
They kind of switch it up every
Yes. Yeah. I love Black.
Okay.
I love Janae, Bryson. Like, I'm a huge R&B head. But I love rap, you know what I mean? But I'm going to do that.
It goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Can listen to the same 100 songs all year. Old Hove, all that shit. So
being that you just moved to LA, what are some things that you know are working on out here? Some people you would like to cross paths with. Maybe we could get this in the universe.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, ho!
Hey. I don't know if he'll be here.
Nah, yeah.
But you know.
Pusha T's a person. Pusha, if you see this interview, Air Music. Was it called right? Air Music, the label you just started out with. Pusha is like someone I just know, just off the. You know what I mean? So, but.
So what are some things you want to accomplish while you're out here in LA?
I just been, cause I go off vibe, energy. I'm just real. I look in the mirror and I'm just, thank God for who I am. And it took a long time to get to that point. So like, I go off vibe. So like where I was before I came here, I knew I was at a crossroads. I knew I was gonna make some big jump in life. And I made a lot of music in that bag. And I was like, damn, I'm kind of scared to leave that energy because if I do, who knows what it could turn into musically. Because obviously I'm coming to LA, hitting the ground, trying to make music. I said, check. Right down the middle, like evenly split it for me and my niggas, them humble beginnings. Came from the 2 to 1 out to the Guinness. Dreams of a 2-door garage I envisioned. I said, went to the college for bachelor living. Bachelor catcher went on this stupendous. You know who this pen is. Bases are loaded, my goal is dependent. DMs are sliding the fuck with no feelings. See him in public and barely remember. Watching you joking on niggas, don't get it to church, get the pop and the weapons extend, don't get blown like Nintendo easy. I kept it 100 while stepping greasy. I been had a way where the hair was peasy. Pussy was A1 that didn't please me. She showed me my wrongs when she didn't leave me. Call me 10K, the younger Yeezy. I came from the chat to the fucking TV. I know you see me. Most of you niggas would die to see me. Niggas are sweeter than diabetes. Soul for the life, it's a life of heathens. All my life, yeah. 10,000, baby. I was